Fight!
You take responsibility for yourself and your family. President Clinton is making people on welfare take responsibility. He signed tough welfare reform, work requirements, time limits, force teenage mothers to stay in school or lose benefits. The next step, create jobs. Tax incentives for businesses that hire welfare recipients. Job training for all workers. Dole Gingrich tried to cut job training. Wrong for our future. President Clinton, moving people from welfare to work. Meeting our challenges.
Outstanding. Fight!
We send them off to school, and we worry. Teenage drug use has doubled since 1992. And Bill Clinton, he cut the White House drug office 83%. His own Surgeon General even considered legalizing drugs. And in front of our children on MTV, the president himself.
If you had to do over again, would you inhale?
Sure, if I could. I tried before.
Fatality. Friendship.
And now, the final round of Commander-in-Chief, the Lewinsky scandal. The turbulent period that Clinton is most remembered for. Although he has gone by many names, Bill, Willie, Slick Willie, this is the one scandal that wouldn't slide off so easily.
Fight!
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
Finish him!
And now, the final round, with our correspondent, Josh Chambers. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing good, Jen. How are you?
Tonight, for the final round of Commander-in-Chief, we're going to talk about the Monica Lewinsky scandal. So, Josh, could you give us a general impression of it?
Well, towards the waning years of President Clinton's presidency, it came out that he had been receiving sexual favors, if you will, from a worker at the White House. And it ruptured his marriage and his presidency. Impeachment was considered. And I think on the whole, America was fairly outraged.
Were you outraged personally by this?
Personally, no. I think scandal really humanizes presidents and brings them down to the American people's level. I think it is interesting to note that President Clinton's largest or highest approval ratings came after the Lewinsky scandal. So clearly this didn't really seem to affect his standing with the American people in a negative sort of way, but in fact in a positive way.
Could you back this up?
I could. Here we have a website that claims to be the world's greatest source on presidencies. As you can see, it gives you a chronological listing of all his ratings from when he was inaugurated to when he stepped down and George W. Bush took office. And you can clearly see, if you examine the graphic, that his numbers only rose.
So you're saying that his popularity actually increased from the scandal, or are you saying other things could have increased? What correlation can you make?
Well, from this chart, you definitely can't make a definite correlation between Monica Lewinsky and that scandal and the rise in his popularity. I mean, there was a lot going on at the time. It could have been any number of things, but I just think it's interesting that it didn't hurt his approval ratings.
And now for the final thought. Josh, do you think what a president does in his own time is of any concern to the American people? Do you think that this decision that he made, whether he did it or not, do you think this truly impacted his presidency? Do you think this truly impacted the country, or was this just a personal affair gone completely out of hand?
I absolutely think that it's his own business. The president is simply the most recognized American citizen in America, and I think his privacy should be respected. I mean, I think in a loose way we could sort of compare this to the Dick Cheney hunting accident that's happened recently, and the American people didn't really need to know everything that was going on there, but we did because Dick Cheney is our vice president. So, yes, I think presidential privacy needs to be respected just as much as ours is.
So your final thought is that if the citizens can have privacy, the president deserves it as well?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. That was the final round on Commander-in-Chief with your host, Jann Messer, and political correspondent Josh Chambers. Thank you.